Hi, everybody. Are you ready for another bridge tip? Today, I was asked to talk about what leads would you make against no trump contracts. So, we're going to discuss a few of them, and we're going to also discuss that after you make that lead, uh, how does your partner show you whether they like it or don't like it, or does their partner figure out from using clues whether they should return partner's suit? And which card in partner's suit might be the right one? Let's take a look at a few examples to give you some ideas of how it all works. Okay. In no trump contracts, obviously, the most common strategy for the defense is to develop tricks in their long suit. It's a race to take your needed tricks before they take their needed tricks to make their contract. Some leads that are good for suit contracts are also good leads in no trump. As in all defensive strategies, you must make a plan and use the clues from the auction to help you formulate that plan for defeating the enemy. That's right. Before you make an opening lead, think about what you know. Think about what you don't know. But use the clues. Was Stayman used? Did somebody deny a five-card major? Are you broke in terms of high card points? If so, maybe you should try to find partner suit because you're not going to have a lot of entries. You need to be on the ball to defend properly after a lead is made. And as the partner of the opening leader, you need to return the proper card in partner's suit if you decide to return that suit. You need to surmise if their lead showed interest in the suit. And after seeing the dummy and declarer's play, you also need to decide whether it's right to continue partner's suit or play your own suit or switch to something else. There's an old adage, a switch in time saves nine. Have you ever heard of that? That means, for instance, if the enemy was in three no trump, and they have to take nine tricks, you want to hold them to eight. Okay, so after a lead is made, and if you figure out that you need to make a switch in order to save nine tricks for the enemy, you have to do that sometimes at trick two. All right, what are good leads? Honor sequences are good leads, leading the top of a three-card sequence or a broken sequence. Let's take a look at these examples. These are easy and you should know. You have King, Queen, Jack, fourth. You lead the king. I can't tell you how many times that I cannot believe that in a beginners and an advanced beginners and even some intermediates where they lead fourth best with a holding, they would lead the five. You lead top of a good sequence. The King of Spades is the optimum lead in the first one. The Queen of Spades in the next one, Queen Jack 10. You have three card sequence. And now the next one, Jack 10 9, you lead the Jack. King Queen 10 fourth, you lead the King. And Queen Jack 9 3 2. Well, we don't have three in a sequence. The 9 is not the 10, but it's close enough. If it was the 8, we might do things differently, but for sure, with Queen Jack 9 fifth, you should lead the Queen. The next one is leading the top of interior sequences. So, not the top of the suit, but the top of the interior sequence. So, for instance, the first example, Ace, Queen, Jack, fifth, you would lead the Queen. Why is that? Well, maybe you want to give them the King, which is okay, but then you might take four tricks after that. See, you want to have that race. That's your suit. If you lead small, they might be able to win a cheap trick like with the 8 or something, and then you still haven't set up your tricks. All right, so let's take a look at the second one of the interior. Ace, Jack, 10 9. You lead the Jack. And if the declarer wins it, maybe your partner will get in the lead and lead through the declarer again, and you'll be able to take the rest of those tricks. Ace 10 9 fifth, you lead the 10. King Jack 10 9, you lead the Jack. All right, those are fun. We all like to have those holdings. We don't always get them, do we? All right. Lead partner suit. Leading partner suit is always a good idea. If your partner has opened or overcalled, lead their suit. All right, which card do we lead? We lead the top from a doubleton. So if you had the 8 small or the king small, like in this example, you still would lead the top. Lead the top of touching honors or good sequences. You have Queen Jack third, 10 9 third, you would lead the top. You lead low from 3 or 4. Okay, here in the example, King third, you would lead the 3. Queen fourth, you would lead the 3. And from 9 7 6, you would lead the 6. Right now we come to whether when you're on lead and nothing has been bid by your partner, you lead your longest and strongest suit. We always hear lead fourth best, lead fourth best. Well, most of the time it works out pretty well. So in these particular holdings, ace king fifth, your fourth best is the 4. Queen 10 8 fifth, the fourth best is the 5. Same thing here. In the next example, it's the 7, your fourth best. Now let's take a look at ace king 5 2. You don't lead the top. In a suit contract, you would lead the ace of spades. But here in no trump, you lead fourth best small. Okay. And in Queen Jack 7 4, the same thing. Even though you have 2 touching honors, you would lead small. Well, you are hoping to find partner with a fitting card, like in the Ace King 5 2, maybe they have the Queen X. You don't want to give up a trick, right? Queen Jack 7 4, maybe they have the 10 or they have the King, and you don't want to block the suit. So they're usually going to be shorter. They might have 2 or 3 cards in the suit. They might have 4, and it might not matter so much. But in case they don't, it matters a lot. So don't want to block the suit. Of course, I have a little asterisk here. Against a slam or some other strong auctions, you would lead the top. So, of course, in a slam, if you had ace, king, 5 2, you would lead the ace. You would not lead small. And there's some other times that you might also lead the ace instead of being small. But for us, for the moment, we're going to lead small from ace, king, fourth, or queen, jack, fourth. Another good lead is leading the unbid suit. You should lead, when you're leading the unbid suit, the same kind of rules that you would if you were leading partner suit. So if you had a doubleton, you would lead high-low. You would lead top of a sequence, or you would lead small from honor third or honor fourth. Okay. Another example that people don't talk about is lead the second highest from a bad holding. So here I gave an example. You have 9, 7, 5, 4. So you want to lead the 7. You don't want to lead small. The reason why you don't want to lead small is because you don't want to show any interest in that suit. You want to tell partner when you lead the 7, I have something, but I'm not interested in you returning this suit at all. I might have length. So that's what we call leading second highest from a bad holding. Now, you lead top honors from ace king third. It's usually a partnership agreement whether you lead the king from ace king third or the ace from ace king third. The reason why is some people have agreements on whether the king is a power card asking you to drop the queen or if you're giving attitude or count. These are things that you and your partner have to agree on. So I don't want to go into a lot of details because people have differing opinions. Okay. So for me, I play the ace. It's an attitude card. I only have three, but I'm trying to find partners long suit. So I lead the ace. If I lead the king, for me, I'm asking partner to drop the queen if they have it. So you have to have a big discussion about that. All right. So here I told you if your partnership has certain agreements on certain holdings, including like tens and nines or journalist leads or Rusino leads, you should adhere to those agreements. Don't change up what you and your partner have agreed to because you're going to lose partners if you keep doing that. And we don't want you to lose partners. We want you to have strong partnerships. Partnership agreement is key to most things in bridge. All right, let's take a look. I usually give you a question in my video saying, what would you do? What should you play? But I'm just going to go for and explain my thoughts. Here you go. North is on lead against 3 no trump. East opened a club, South bid a spade, and West bid 3 no trump. And here you are with a beautiful heart suit, Queen, Jack 10, 9, 8, 7. Left to your own devices, if your partner didn't bid anything, you would probably lead the Queen of Hearts. But what should you lead in this particular situation? You should lead partner's suit. Partner's suit, not yours. Why? You have no entries. You have absolutely no entries. You might get lucky and your partner might have 3 hearts to the ace third or the king third, and you might be able to run your suit, but most likely your partner has entries in what suit? Their suit. So you should lead their suit and lead the 7 of spades. That's the top, right? You have a doubleton, so you lead the 7. On a heart lead, the hand is cold. They have plenty of time to set up their clubs for their extra tricks that are needed. But on a spade lead, your partner's suit, the contract is doomed. Okay? So you have to think on every hand. Let's take a look at the next one. North opened a diamond, South bid a heart, North rebid 2 diamonds, and have a pretty good 2 diamond bid, but they bid only 2 diamonds, and South bid 3 no trump. All right. So here you are on lead as West. And West should lead their fourth best. They should lead the 6 of spades. And now, if you were East, you should win with the ace. Now, it looks like you want to return partner suit. You have no reason at the moment, you have no reason to switch to anything else, right? There's a singleton spade. You see all of those threatening diamonds. So you should return partner suit. The key is which one should you return, the 9 or the 3? You should return the 9. The 9 would either be from holding that as ace 9 doubleton or from 3 or an odd. Sometimes it's odd and sometimes it's even, but the 9 should be returned. If it went ace and then you played the 3 back, your partner would think you had a doubleton or 4. And this becomes very important for them to know how many you have. All right, so if you return the 9, you can see that the declarer South would probably put in the 10. And now let's focus your attention on West. So West now wins the Jack. Well, if you had played the ace and the 9, your partner, or West, should figure out that you started with 3 or possibly a doubleton. They can't safely bang down the king of spades without setting up the queen for the declarer. We don't want to give them their 9 tricks, do we? All right, so let's see. What can we do? We know that he has the guarded queen. Partner did not play the queen back. If he had ace queen third, he certainly would have played the ace and then played the queen back. Doesn't have that, so we know that South has it. Now you have to think as West. This is where thinking bridge comes into play. You should use the following reasoning to decide what to switch to. Did you hear me use the word switch? Don't continue the suit and set up to declare his trick. Okay. If partner has the ace of diamonds, right, then you're always going to be able to set the contract because partner has that third spade that you're so happy he has. And you're pretty sure that South didn't start with five from the auction. Remember, he bid a heart first, not a spade. Okay. So it comes down to what holding can your partner have in the hearts and the club situation. Right. So we have to make sure that we switch to the right suit in order to set the contract. So let's think. If a partner holds the king of clubs or the ace of hearts, okay, if partner holds the king of clubs and the king of hearts, not the ace, declarer can still take six diamonds, one club, and finesse the heart. If they hold the king of hearts, you can see the queen jack are there. They can finesse the king. So, it has to be right to switch to the heart and hope that your partner has the ace. That's the only card that you can think of that is going to set the contract. All right, so probably you would have done it all on your own because you see the ace of clubs staring you in the dummy. But I want to start training you to think bridge, don't toss cards, okay? So you would switch to the heart, partner wins the ace, and dutifully leads back their three of spades, setting the contract. Now, I hope you really think about this hand because I know most of you were going to cash that king of spades because you didn't think about the card that your partner played back and you were hoping that declarer was going to just have the queen of spades left. But it can't be because your partner played the right card back for you. All right, let's take a look at this next hand. All right, so West opened a no trump and East bid three no trump. And some people might have only invited, and whatever that you have, it's okay. It doesn't matter. All right. So you listen to the auction, you're on lead, and the opponents didn't bid Stayman. And you as North you have two different suits to lead from. You have King 10 fourth of diamonds and Jack 9 8 fourth of spades. Well, it's true your diamonds are a little bit longer, but as you've been told in many situations, it's better to lead a major when they haven't shown a major. So you shrug your shoulders and you lead a small spade. Okay? And declarer plays low, and your partner plays the 10. Declarer can win whatever they want to fool you. They can win the queen, they can win the ace, they can win the king. But what should you surmise from your partner when they played the 10? They should surmise what? That was the highest spade you had in your hand, right? Third hand plays high. So they have denied the ace, king, or queen. All right, so now declarer plays on clubs. He leads the jack of clubs. And you can see that the dummy has king fifth of clubs. They're trying to develop that suit. So declarer plays the jack of clubs. What clubs should you play? You should not win the ace. Okay, you should put in the queen. So you put in the queen, and declarer plays the king. All right, the ace is the wrong card. So he plays the jack, you put in the queen, you have the ace 9 over the presumed jack 10. Okay, so he wins the king and he comes back with another club. And let's say he puts in the 2 and you win your 9. If he puts in the 10, you win your ace. It doesn't matter. You have the 9 of clubs. What do you do next? You do not continue a spade. You have to think about what your partner can hold for you to defeat the contract. It's not in spades. So now your diamond suit looks pretty good. Your heart suit is anemic, okay? But you have a for sure entry, which you know you're going to get because Declare is trying to set up the club suit. So you would lead a low spade. And now your partner should do what? I'm sorry, a low diamond. You would lead a low diamond, the two, and your partner goes up with the ace. And what should he return? If he's on the ball, he should not return a spade. The key is you led small. You led from the two of diamonds. When you lead in the middle of the hand, low, you're showing interest. So he should not routinely just return a spade for you. Okay? So you shift to the two of diamonds, telling your partner you want the diamond back, not a spade. Small shows interest, and partners should win and return the diamonds. So you could win. You could play another diamond to clear the diamond suit. And then when you get in with your club, down one for the defense. Three hearts, one club, and one diamond. All right, that's all they're going to get. That's not enough. Three spades, three hearts, one club, and one diamond is 3, 6, 7, 8. You beat the race to 9. Okay? All right. So it's very important that your partner, South, understands that when you got in, you played a small diamond showing interest in that suit. If you wanted the spade back, you should play back the, you should lead the 10 or the 6, something to say, I don't want that suit back. Let's look at the next hand. In this hand, South, it's gone pass, a diamond, a heart, 1 no, 2 no, 3 no. So they sort of had like a struggling auction to get to 3 no. All right. So they have minimum points to get there. And uh, you know that from the east-west side of things that you both have some points. Okay? We know that. Okay, so let's think about the auction. The auction tends to suggest a spade lead, right? They bid hearts, diamonds, no trump. You have the queen of clubs and the queen of spades. All right, but you hold the sequence, queen jack, fourth of spades, but mainly you're deciding to lead a spade based on the information you got from the auction. So here we have an example. Which one should you lead? You're always taught to lead top of a sequence. Well, that might be true in the suit contract, but this is no trump. And I explained to you before, from this holding, you don't have a 3-card sequence. You have a 2-card sequence. You should lead small. So you would lead the 3 of spades, the 3. And your partner they're going to play small, and your partner is going to win the king. All right, the king. You found your partner with the card, and he can return the suit, and all is grand. It's all good in the hood, and you are going to set the contract. Okay? But this important part of this lesson or this hand is that you should lead small. Okay? And that you would lead the unbid major. Okay. You see how it all worked out. I hope that you enjoyed this lesson. And if you have any questions on any topic that you would like, you can email me. You can ask me to present a lesson on it, or just have fun with bridge and just send me a little note or a joke. I'm always happy to hear it. Anyway, have a good bridge day.